Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Gary here from RV Living Life, and today we're going to do a hike on the Manitoulin Cup and Saucer Trail. And we're going to show you where it is, how to find it, an app I would use when hiking, and some do's and don'ts. There's definitely a don't for me in the end of this video. So let's get into it. If you saw our recent video on Manitoulin Island camping at Batman's, it really was a beautiful park. And if you didn't see it, then I'll put a link in the description down below and you can have a look. So anyway, at Batman's, this was the view out the front window of our campsite. It was incredible. What a beautiful place to stay. And once we were there about halfway through our vacation, we decided to go on a hike. So just to show you where Batman's is, it's up on Manitoulin Island, which is about 4 or 5 hours northwest of Toronto, Ontario. And you can get there quite easily with, a big coach like ours, a big bus. And when we were at Batman's, we decided to go over to the Cup and Saucer, which is about a half an hour west of us. And you can see on the map here where it is and the drive that we took over there. And once you get over there, you can see a large sign. It's very clearly marked where the trail is. And when you pull in, there's a big parking lot. There's two of them actually. And you can easily find a spot to park and go on the trail. So here's my daughter and my wife, my daughter Christina, my wife Carol, standing in front of the map of the trail. And you can see in the background that there are two paths. There's the red path and the blue path. And the blue path is simply an extension of the red path. So the red one they call the Cup and Saucer Trail, and the blue one they call the Cup and Saucer Loop. And on the Cup and Saucer Trail, here I have the two maps combined. These two maps are something I got from All Trails. And if you've never heard of All Trails, it's really a great app. Anywhere you are, you can open it up and it'll tell you about all the trails that are nearby you, the closest ones to, working their way out further away from you, what the ratings are, how difficult they are, how long it takes to walk, whether there's a fee, the ratings that people give to it and everything. It's really a fantastic app. So in using All Trails, you can see on the left here that the red trail is the Cup and Saucer Trail, and that's the one we took. So basically you walk in a sort of indirect route over to the escarpment to look over the cliff that's there, which is really something. And if we were to do this trip again, I would probably take the blue trail as well, which is just an extension, a loop going around the bottom. But on the red trail, when you're going along, you climb to 146 meters above where you started out. So it's a bit of a climb. It's an uphill thing. And out and back, it's 5.1 kilometers. And you can see all this right in All Trails. And then on the map on the right, I drew a little square there, which represents the size of the map on the left, because it's a different scale. And you can see the blue trail goes along the escarpment and around through the woods and back. And I would definitely recommend taking that, if you're a bit of a hiker. That trail, you go 263 meters above where you started out. So it's a bit higher and it's a bit longer of a walk. It's 8.9 kilometers. The first one's only 5.1 kilometers. But I think that the views are probably better over there. Or not better, but there are good views there as well. After doing this trail, I did some research on it and what have you, and there are some things along there that we did miss that, we'll have to catch next time. If we go again, we'll definitely be taking the blue trail as well. So anyway, here we are starting out on the trail, and it's a very easy walk. You can see it's wide open, well packed, and easy to move through the woods. It's easy to see where the trail goes. It's very good. And one of the first things we came across was this stump that was about 6 or 7 feet high. And there was a lot of stuff stuck to it. We didn't really know what it was until we got close. And this is wads of bubble gum stuck to this tree, which is quite startling to us. We've never seen anything like that before. And I guess the hikers, when they come through here, they have wads of gum and they just stick it on that tree. We found this a little, gross, I guess would be the best word. And also wondered what effect it would have on any animals that came and chewed the gum off of this tree. But, maybe they're not interested in that. It doesn't look like anything was chewing on the tree, but I'm not sure how good that is for the environment. But this is a maintained trail, and I guess whoever maintains it doesn't really worry about that either. So anyway, you can see as we get along now, the trail is getting a little rougher. You can see my daughter is walking along some collapsed shale there. And, it's a bit of a challenge to get through there. You need good footing. You got to have good shoes, hiking boots, right? And, you got to take your time. If you have problems with balance, this is probably not a good trail for you. And then when you get a little further in, we came across this uh, rock face in the shale where I guess the native Indians, or I don't know if they like the term Indians anymore, but indigenous people, they set up these little statues all along the highway, all over northern Ontario, anywhere you come near a reserve. And I believe this trail is on reserve land. So this is the way that they put like little markers along the way to, show that this is their land and, have respect and what have you. But anyway, it's quite beautiful to see. And if you really look at it, you can see there's a lot of effort went into making all these little statues on here. So we go a little further in and you can see we've come along a kind of a cliff face in the shale. And they built a set of stairs here to go up, and it looks a little beat up, but it's actually in better shape than you think. And we climbed up there. You can see here there's my daughter Christina and Lexi. She's having the time of her life here. She looks so happy. She really enjoys hiking, as most dogs would. And here we came across the Adventure Trail entrance. This is something I didn't mention in the beginning, but the Adventure Trail is something that goes along the side of the Cup and Saucer Trail, the red trail, and it goes down off the top of the mountain and down along the face of the cliff and then back up again. And my daughter wanted to take that walk, so she went down that way and we continued along the top. And as you're going along, we could, communicate. We would call out to each other. We were very easily in earshot of each other. We could communicate the whole way. And you could see the area that we were walking was very flat, hard rock, easy to walk on. There's openings where you can see off into the distance. Here there's a sign on a tree that says, please don't throw anything down below. There are people hiking and be careful. And obviously our daughter's down there, so we're not throwing anything down, but we never would anyway. And there's quite a few openings in the trees where you can see in the distance. I believe this is called West Bay in the distance here. And another view, you could see there was a large gravel pit, which we were quite surprised because it's hidden away. Another view of West Bay. And there I am with the gravel pit over my shoulder. A little further down, we saw another sign that said the Adventure Trail, and this went down to where Christina is. So my wife decided to go down a bit and see if she could meet her. And when we were calling out, we discovered that she was actually further down the trail than here. So my wife turned around and came back. And this is a photo of the way up and down where my wife was going. And I guess that's why they call it the Adventure Trail as well, is you can see how this is made. It's just a lot of rungs and it's not like a walkway and stairs. It's a bit of a challenge to go along there. But my daughter had gone down further and she actually came up a ladder like this out of the Adventure Trail, which again is very interesting to see. And I guess she had a good time with that. But once everybody was back up on top with me, we chatted a bit and, we really enjoyed the afternoon. It was a beautiful day. And a little further down the trail, we came across kind of an overwhelming feeling. You could see in the distance there on the ground, that's a solid rock there. That's Lookout Point. And as you walk up to it, you can start to get a real feeling of the enormity of the view. Here I am maybe 15 feet or so from the edge of the tip. That's about as far as I'm going to go here. And I look off to the right and I can see the escarpment on the right, which is really something to see. This is hundreds of feet high. I'm not even sure what it is, but it's such a overwhelming feeling of being up here and then looking in the distance and everything's so low in front of you for miles as far as you can see. I believe that's Lake Manitou in the distance here. And it's really a beautiful day. The trees are down below us there. It was quite something. And when I look back, I could see my daughter and my wife, and they were a little annoyed that I went so close to the edge, but really I hadn't gone that close. But it took some convincing to get them down there to have a look too, because you can't really see much from back there. So eventually they came down and had a look. Here's a picture of my daughter standing beside me and the cliff face behind us of the escarpment. It's really something. And if you were to walk on the Blue Trail, it would follow along on top of that cliff there. So I would imagine there's some good views from there. And I guess they really they had a point about, being careful when you get out to the edge because it could be windy and what have you. And people go sit out on Lookout Point and hang their feet over the edge. And here's a view looking back from the beginning of the Blue Trail. And you can see that that's just an outcrop of rock sticking out there. And, it's been there for millions of years. So I don't think it's going to fall off when you're standing on it. I think this rock formation was made 440 million years ago when this part of Ontario was south of the equator. And now with continental drift, it's up here now. But anyway, people go to that edge and they dangle their feet over or they sit up close to the edge for a picture and that. I would not advise that myself. I'd rather be a little safe, stay back a bit. These people here seem like they're about 10 or 15 feet from the edge, which is probably as far as I went. And even they are overhanging the rock they're on is overhanging the cliff below, which you're really not aware of at all when you're standing there. You'd have to walk over to this side to see it. But, it was really a good time. It's a beautiful trail. It's a relatively easy walk. I would definitely recommend using the All Trails app because, when you're walking along and you get off the trail and you don't even realize it because there are other trails there that people have made through there. And, you can just check the All Trails app and you can see where you are on the trail. So if you wandered off the trail, you can very easily get back on it. But anyway, that's the Cup and Saucer Trail. And next time we go, we're going to do the Cup and Saucer Loop for sure. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you'd like to give us a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate that. That definitely helps us out. And maybe you could subscribe and ring that little bell. That really all helps us out. So thanks for watching and have a great day. And bye for now.